Yeah, welcome to another great late night podcast with Bridget and Holly. I'm your host, Holly.
And I'm your host, Bridget.
And before we get into tonight's podcast, if y'all remember on the last episode where we left off, Bridget lost her ass off and she hates sweet potatoes. And I can't convince her to buy a real sweet potato and eat it. So she got the sweet potato baby food. But me being an amazing bestie that I am, I'm going to eat it with her too. And I love sweet potatoes, and I'm scared this is going to be nasty because baby food is just nasty in general. It's horrible. So, before we get into things, let's go on and get this over with.
Okay, but y'all make sure you like, subscribe, hit the notification bell for all our shows every Tuesday and Friday at 11 p.m. on here and Spotify. Okay,
It
I got the
smells
big.
like sweet potatoes. Yeah, she's got to eat the whole container. And she got a way bigger. How many ounces is your container?
Huh?
Mine's 4. It smells good to me.
Mm, mm,
How many ounces is your container?
mm. 4.
Oh, yours look bigger than mine. All right, Bessie. Wait before you taste it. Hold on.
I
Get you a
just
spoon.
tasted it on the lid.
Yeah, but you got to have a mouthful of it.
Are you eating your whole container?
Probably because it smells really good to me. All right, cheers, Bestie.
Okay. Mm.
That's actually not bad. It's just not sweet enough because I like sweet potatoes. Man, I can't wait to see what our shit looks like in the morning. Gonna look like baby food.
Mm.
So, Bridge, what you think?
Uh,
Is it that bad?
mm-hmm.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
She ain't talking, y'all. That means she probably gonna puke in a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Mm. But just think, you had your gum surgery today. This is perfect for your surgery. Uh huh.
Mm-mm.
Mmm.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, if it was sweeter, it'd be better. But it
Mm-mm.
does taste like a sweet potato. Mm. I'm almost done with mine. Giddy up, girl. Giddy up. Oh my.
I think I'd have been better off getting the real sweet potatoes.
Yeah, I promise you, you would have liked the sweet potato. Like,
No, I mean the real sweet potato baby food.
wait, what you mean? Girl, is that mustard? What are
No.
you eating?
Peaches?
You lying. You are not.
Yeah, I swapped them. I swapped and put peaches in here, but they nasty.
Girl, you better go get that baby food.
Mm.
Yeah, no ma'am. We will not start our podcast till you go get that sweet potato.
I have to go buy it because I threw it out because I thought this was gonna work.
But then why do you still have the container?
Because I put the peaches in this container and threw the other ones out.
When did you do this?
2 days ago, day before. Well, I ordered it yesterday or day before yesterday.
You lying. Go get them.
No, I'm just fucking with you. I wanted to get peaches instead.
You really are eating it.
Yeah, I wish I'd have got the peaches and done what I thought. Because this is nasty.
But like on a scale from 1 to 10, even though it's baby food,
I
and
just
you're
had to fuck with you.
you did because I was like, no, she didn't. But on a scale of 1 to 10, even though it's not a real sweet potato, for your first time and how you think about sweet potatoes on a scale 1 to 10.
It's exactly what I thought. It's terrible.
But you gotta have a real one.
No, this is good right here.
I'm gonna make her have a good one. All right, y'all. I finished mine.
Me too.
You good. All right, y'all. So let's get started. Tonight, our podcast is called Fucked Up Breakups, okay? So me and Bridget done some research and we went online and we tried our best to pick out, the funniest, most fucked up ways people got broken up with. And so I'll start out. I'll start out first with one. All right. And so this girl said, I dated a guy casually for about 2 weeks during my senior year of high school. Before I realized it wasn't going to work. So I met up with him and told him in person. Well, later that night, I got a long text about how disappointed he was in me, and he ended it with, "Don't forget to set your clock back this weekend." Bitch, you just got dumped. Why are you going to remind her to set her clock back? I'm just saying.
Oh my lord. Well, mine's a little longer than that. That's pretty good though.
I have some
Okay.
short ones and some long ones.
Okay. So one of my stories goes like this. She was married to this guy for about 10 years. And all of a sudden she started noticing he was kind of acting really weird. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? He was just doing weird things and things were off. And she suspected him of cheating because he had cheated before. But
Oh.
he was even acting different this time. He had cheated multiple times. So anyhow, she got to researching, and he had been coming home from work, and he was getting gifts from a gay guy. NFL jackets, necklaces, expensive stuff.
Oh, shit.
So she confronted him and she asked him. She was like, "What's going on?" And she said, "Are you gay?" And he said, "Yes." So she was devastated because, like, it's one thing to be cheated on with a
Oh,
woman, but be cheated on with a man.
yeah. It's like,
So
did you turn
anyhow,
him or is that just how he was?
yeah. So anyhow, she gets in touch with the guy that supposedly he works with that he's having this affair with. And there was some weird voice recording on his voice machine that says, "Hey, this is so and so. I'm really distraught right now because this man I've been messing with is messing with a redheaded bitch." And so, anyhow, the girl was really puzzled by it. So she reached out to him again, or left him a message. He reached out to her and she said, "Are you and my husband having an affair?" And he said, "Honey, no. He's using me as a cover up because he's fucking around with this redheaded bitch at work."
Oh, so he lied.
He lied and had her
He was,
going. Yeah, she
wow.
thought that for like 2 or 3 weeks that he was leaving her for another
Poor
woman. So,
man.
so she finally confronts the husband. She tells the husband she knows he's cheating, da da da. She knows it's not the man. And she tells him he's going to have to get out. Well, the woman that he was cheating with was married too. So he tells her, "Listen, I'm going to have to move out. She found out and I need to move. So what are we going to do? Because I got nowhere to go." And she says, "I got you." So they both, the man and this woman that was cheating worked third shift.
Uh,
So she goes in after work that day. Her husband had already left for work. She went in the kitchen and beat herself up with the kitchen cabinets to bruise her face. Called the law and said he beat her before he went to work. The law went and arrested him at work. They put a restraining order on it. He had to get all his stuff out of the house. His sister had to come pick it up. And the girl's husband moved in with him the next day. The one that was
oh
cheating.
my God.
Fucked up, ain't it?
Wow. What a bitch move.
But
They
guess what?
deserve each other.
Guess what?
What?
That was my story. That was the way my first husband and I split up.
Wait, what?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yes.
So the girl that he cheated on you with beat herself up to get her
Beat her.
husband.
Yep.
Is he still with her?
No. What, my first husband and her?
Yeah.
No. Mm-mm.
Wow. They deserved each other though. They deserved each
Yeah.
other.
No, they didn't make it. They didn't make it. He ended up cheating on her.
Damn, and he probably beat her ass too.
Uh, and
What?
so what was funny was I had talked to the husband. I talked to the husband and he was all to pieces. And he had to have everybody at work say that he was there 30 minutes early because he was. He always got there at 6:30 instead of 7, and she don't get home to closer to 7.
So did he get the
And
charges dropped?
I think so. Yeah, I think he got him dropped, but she beat herself up, or either she went ahead and agreed to drop the restraining order as long as he would just stay away from her. But he was in tears. He was like, I don't, because and he was such a sweet guy. He was so
Wow.
sweet. He was so sweet. But yep, that's the fucked
It's
up
so
shit.
sad because, no, of course, no woman deserves to get hit on, but it's shitty for a woman to use that to her advantage because when you hear of that, of course, you're always going to believe the woman because,
Mm,
yes, men do, you know, get beaten as well, domestic violence, but
mhm,
you do hear of it more being women. So
mhm.
for a woman to do that, even though she's lying, of course everybody's going to believe her.
Yeah.
But God, to sit there and do that and
But
pretty
you know
much,
what's really the ironic part of the story? My first husband was physically abusive. He used to beat me, and he ended up beating her in
yeah.
their relationship.
Oh, he did her the same way too.
Yeah,
I
and
bet
her
she,
first husband never hit her, never laid a
I
hand on
bet
her.
she regretted beating her ass with that damn cabinet.
I bet she
God,
did
it's
too.
so.
I never
Mm,
got to talk to her after that. I heard she was with somebody else later on, but yep.
that is crazy. Um, let's
You didn't
see.
think that was my story, did you?
No, but with the way you were talking, I was like, because we're on a podcast. I'm never gonna call you out on stuff like that. But the way you were talking, I'm like, oh, she's talking about somebody she knows because you weren't reading. So I knew it was a story. Like you had told me the story. You didn't tell me that part about her, what she had did. But in my head, I'm like, okay, this is one of her friends. This happened to their friend because you're not reading the paper. But I
Yeah.
didn't know it was more of your story and it was actually you. So
Yep.
yeah, that's crazy. They deserve each other.
Yep.
Um, okay, so listen to this one. This is messed up. So I broke up with my boyfriend because he was always putting me through tests to show my loyalty. Well, a few weeks later, I heard that he had overdosed on some pills from his parents' medicine cabinet and he died. She felt horrible, like it was all her fault. She didn't even have the heart to reach out to his family or even attend his funeral. But the day after the funeral, she got a text from his number and it turns out he wasn't even dead. He never overdosed. It was just another one of his tests to see how she would react. This dude literally faked his own death, then sent her a text and said, just so you know, I'm over you. Because she didn't show her loyalty and how much she cared because he fake died. That's a little obsessive, isn't it? And a little narcissist.
Yeah, yeah. So did they
Right.
actually print an obituary or something, or did?
It didn't say. It didn't say if they
Oh,
did an obituary.
that's crazy.
Isn't it?
So this story's called Get 'em Max. Says I was dating a ridiculously hot yet batshit crazy knife enthusiast chick. We'll call her Kate. And she had an awesome Alaskan husky named Max, who was 4 years old, and this dog loved attention. I was walking with her and Max when I stopped and told her, I love you, but emotionally and mentally you're abusive and we really should break up. As I was walking away, I hear her say, Max, get him. I quickly turn around to see Max walk over and sit next to me. He didn't get him. At this point, she got furious at Max and grabbed her razor sharp knife that she was carrying with her and ran at me. She gets within 3 feet of me before Max leaped at her and bit her leg. She fell
Oh,
to the ground and she was reaching for her knife to get it ready to try to stab Max when I grabbed her arm and stopped her. But now there's a large group around and I feel a large hand on my shoulder. I turn around and see a police officer say, I'll take it from here. Don't worry. I saw everything. Anyway, after months of investigating and police work, she was arrested for animal cruelty, possession of a deadly weapon, and attempted murder. And yes, I got to keep Max. He's 6 years old now and very happy.
Oh, see, it was her dog, and he ended up with it because
She
God,
acting
that's fucked
crazy.
up. That's crazy. Um, here's one. So in high school, the guy that I had a massive crush on asked me to be his girlfriend. I was ecstatic until I found out that he and his family are super religious. He refused to hug or hold hands, and because he wasn't even allowed to spend time with someone of the opposite sex, he wouldn't admit to his parents that they were dating. And at one point, he even told her that the reason she had back problems is because God was smiting her for not praying enough. But he was still devastated and confused when I broke up with him. He called he called me crying on the phone every day for 2 weeks. And then he egged my parents' house. Did God tell you to do that, son? Did God tell you to egg our house?
Yes, Jesus said, go buy a carton of eggs, let them go rotten, and egg
Right?
that
Oh
house,
my
son.
God. I thought that was crazy.
People are definitely crazy. Definitely crazy. Here's another one.
Yes.
Here's another one called Poor Nemo. I used to date this one girl who was five kinds of batshit and crazy insane. Not only was she a compulsive liar, but she was bipolar, ADHD, without medication because she didn't like them, and she was also a horrible, horrible person. She had a pet fish in an aquarium. After we dated for a while, she bought some new fish and named one of them after me. So a couple weeks after the breakup, fast forward, I get an email from my ex. It was an email without any text, but it had a picture of the fish she named after me impaled with a fork.
Oh, poor Nemo.
That's why it says poor Nemo.
That's so
I
sad.
ain't no time.
Nemo didn't ask for that shit. She is
I'm
batshit
telling you.
crazy.
I'm telling you.
Um, my funniest one I'm gonna say for last, and I want to read it so bad 'cause it's so hilarious, but I'm just gonna jump around. So this one girl broke up with her high school boyfriend at his house, and afterwards she remembered that he was the one that drove her there, and she said this was before Uber and Lyft and all that crap. So she texted her friend, "Hey, will you come pick me up? I just broke up with my boyfriend." And she said she would, but she's at least 45 minutes away. So she said her and her ex had to sit there awkwardly for over an hour in silence before she finally showed up. How
Oh
awkward
God.
that to be. You breaking up with him at his house and you ain't even got your car. Bitch, I feel for you.
I think I would have started walking.
I would have had to. Or went outside on the porch or something and just been like, well, I'll wait outside. Like,
Did
yeah.
it just sit there and be like, well, so what are you going to do now with your life?
Yeah,
How you
God.
gonna? Yeah. What you gonna do to fill your time now? Would you like to have sex one last time? Just one for the
Right.
road?
Let's do the anger bang.
Yeah, right. Oh my God. Wow. Okay, here's one that says, left him dead. In my mid 20s, I was dating a girl seriously for almost a year. We were watching a movie in my townhouse one night, and she was acting really weird, just kind of distant and standoffish, which is very unlike her normal behavior. As it started to get late, she told me she had to go back to her apartment, which was unusual since typically she stayed at my place several nights a week, and especially if we were hanging out really late. But I just told her goodbye, and I didn't think that much of it. The next morning, I went to feed my dog, who pretty much lived in the backyard during the nice times of the year, but he was nowhere to be found. I knew he would oftentimes wiggled under the fence sometimes because even though I'd made an effort to patch it up with chicken wire, it had several weak spots and he would sometimes find a way to get out. So I went to the front door, figuring he might be out in the neighborhood somewhere to holler for him. As I opened up the door, I was greeted by the sight of my dead dog on the porch with a note from my girlfriend saying she was breaking up with me and hey, sorry about your dog. Apparently, in her haste to try to get away
Oh,
from her, she accidentally backed over him because he had been lying behind her car in the driveway.
oh no.
Oh, that's sad.
God, that is sad.
I think I would have to damn hunt a bitch down.
I would. You run over my fur baby, bitch. It's the last time you run over any fur baby.
Yep, that's right.
God, that's so sad.
I got all these
Um,
sad stories.
yes, yours is sad. Mine's just like, I don't know, weird. Um, this this one I thought was so fucked up. My first boyfriend broke up with me on Valentine's Day, and when I brought up how awful that is, he felt horrible. She was like, of all days, you would break up with me on Valentine's Day. So he said, okay. He said, let's do this. He said, we'll stay together tonight, and then I'll just break up with you tomorrow because it won't be Valentine's Day. Like
No,
me,
don't do
spare
me
my
a
feelings
favor.
another day. You're amazing.
Yeah, that no, I'm good. Thank you for the favor, though.
Yeah.
So
Don't
this
do
one's
me a
called
favor.
Caught in the Shower. Says I got a winner, folks. On his family's vacation, I went with him, but I had to break up with him after I caught him. Dot dot dot. Wait for it. Dot dot dot. With his half sister in the shower,
Ooh.
who was at least 10 years older than him, married, and had two elementary aged sons. I didn't even ask or wait for an explanation. I just left and haven't spoke to him since.
Dude, I could see maybe if that was your step sibling, because y'all aren't blood, but y'all have sister. You doubt hard
Misfits.
up.
I can't see the step. I can't see the step. Now maybe
I
if
mean, not, yeah, it's still bad, but at least there's no blood there.
right,
Oh.
maybe if like the step siblings became step siblings as teenagers, you know what I'm saying? Or
Yeah.
young adults and they didn't, but if you were raised like from a young child to your older with that being your sister or yeah, that's fucked up.
That's it. That's some fucking backwoods redneck shit right there. Um, let's see. Well, okay. So this girl, um, was on the phone with her boyfriend, and he was breaking up with her, and she said she was doing a great job of holding it together. And she's outside, she's walking around, just trying to hold that shit together while he's breaking up with her. Until she stepped on a giant wasp barefoot. She said, needless to
Wait
say,
a
I
minute, I'm
told
sorry. A giant what?
she stepped on a giant wasp. What? What?
Say it
Oh, giant wasp?
again. What?
Wasp. Why, what do you say, wops?
No, I say wasp, but it was the way you said it those first two times. You said wasp or something like that.
No, it says she stepped on a giant wasp. I don't hear it. I don't hear what you're hearing. She stepped on a fucking giant hornet. Let's do that. So she steps on a giant hornet barefoot. She totally loses her shit after that. She's yelling, screaming, and crying for the rest of the phone call, but for entirely different reasons. And he thinks that she's all distraught and all that because he's breaking up with her, when literally she just stepped on a fucking hornet.
You want to go say it again? Wasp. I thought you said
A
wasp.
giant wasp.
Yeah, you're saying wasp now, but at first I promised you watched the podcast, but you said wasp.
A giant wasp.
But you said it with an O, wasp.
Wasp.
That's what you
A
said.
giant wasp.
That's what
Kiss my
you
ass.
said.
Next.
Wasp.
Oh my god.
Oh shit.
If
Wasp.
we can't laugh at ourselves, who can, right?
Giant wasp.
It's Wasp, your turn. Oh
Anyhow,
god.
A girl said she was a junior in college and her boyfriend was actually living with her and her parents. They had taken a nap after sexy time, and she woke up before him and stepped off the side of the bed onto his backpack and heard a crack. She thought, oh gosh, I've cracked his laptop. But she opened up the backpack, looked around, and it turned out just to be a CD case. But she thought, let me just check the laptop to be sure. So she opened it up just to make sure, but she didn't break it. But she's the curious type. So she wanted to see what was on the laptop, so she started looking through his files. Everything was pretty normal until she seen this one file named Apple. She didn't
Oh
think
shit.
too much of it because he had an Apple phone, a Mac computer, blah blah blah. She clicked into it and there was three separate files. And in the first file, it was a bunch of nudes from different girls that had been sent to him over the years. Okay. A little weird. A little weird, she thought, but he's probably not the only guy who saves those.
Shit.
So then the second file was of his mother. And his mother was in weird.
Naked?
No, his mother was in weird poses. She said she'd be like over there dusting the TV, and she'd have
Uh,
her arm up dusting the TV, and you could see her thongs peeking out of her jeans, and it would be over like her thong.
ew.
Then said one was her of her bending over, and her shirt had come up, and you could kind of see up her blouse, and took a picture of that. And another one was of her butt. So she said she was really creeped out by that.
That's disgusting. That's your mom, dude.
So then she went into the third file and she admitted his mom was a pretty woman, blah, blah, blah. She went into the third file and it was him and his stepsister in compromising positions. And they had one video of them dancing together, grinding on each other.
Oh, dudes,
And
what
this,
is it with you and your half sisters and stepsisters? Hello, McFly.
so anyhow, she
God.
said that she freaked out, left, and just broke up with him over text. And he asked her why. She told him about it, and he said, what's wrong with that?
And I want to know why your mama is bending down in front of you with a fucking thong on.
I don't know. I don't know if she just didn't think anything of it. Like because it was coming out the top of her pants. Like the top of her jeans. You could see the thong.
Yeah, that's like some
That's
Norman Bates shit.
yeah, it is. that wasp.
Right.
That wasp.
This is so fucked up, right? So this girl, she said, I'm at my boyfriend's house for Thanksgiving dinner. This is the third year in a row that we've been went to his family's for a family tradition where we all draw names for Christmas. My name was not included. So as everyone's telling who they got and no one says my name, I ask, who got me? And it gets so quiet you could hear a pin drop. And my boyfriend says no one because I'm breaking up with you.
Oh damn!
On Thanksgiving and a tradition where y'all draw names for Christmas. That bitch so knew she wasn't getting a diamond necklace for Christmas.
Son of a gun. That would be
That
horrible.
I was like, oh my god, I would have like smacked the shit out of him and been
Mm.
like, fuck you, take me home or I'm leaving or something.
Okay, so this next one, this girl says that she had been dating this guy for 5 years, and he was always bad for not doing what he said he was going to do or what she asked him to do. Okay. She said that her final straw was the day that he forgot to take out the trash.
Wait, are you telling a story about me and Jason? You are telling a story about me and Jason, ain't you, girl? Because the trash ain't been dumped today.
Well, that's the final straw, Jason. Sorry about you.
Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh,
We got to mention the trash.
I know. I wonder how many of our viewers has caught on to that. It is a running fucking joke.
No.
Because
We
it's a
mention it. If
struggle.
if y'all haven't noticed yet, we've made it a goal to mention it in every podcast
Yeah. Yeah, y'all.
because Because when we first started podcasting, we had mentioned it in a couple podcasts, and Jason said, what y'all gonna do? Bring that up every time? So we've been like,
And
yeah.
bet. Me and Bridget, y'all, it's like, Getting him to take out the trash is like, okay, picture yourself on the toilet and you are constipated as fuck. And you pushing and you pushing and you pushing and it won't budge. Nothing is happening. And you pushing and pushing and you start breaking out into a sweat, getting a red face and getting mad and nothing's happening. That's what it's like asking my husband to take out the trash.
So, in other words, Jason is a frustrating constipation. Shit.
Yes.
Bless God.
Oh God.
Well, Jason, I don't know.
Ugh.
According to that story, she got so fed up she left, so you better be careful.
Yep. It was such sad tales, sad tales. This next one I got is long. Well, not real long, but it's long, but it is funny, okay? And I was saving this one for last because it's fucked up and funny. Okay. God, I gotta get through this. Okay. So I went to my boyfriend's house to break up with him because it just wasn't working. I get a lot of men are mama's boys, but this was very unusual. He always had to call her. I always had to tell her what he was doing. I always had to tell her where he was going, and also asked if she approved. So I go over, and he had cooked this Thai food meal, which I had never had before. So I was polite, sat down, and thought, okay, here we are. We're sitting down to a nice calm dinner. Now we can have the talk. Well, before I could finally tell him I wanted to break up with him, my stomach started rumbling. I get up, I run to the bathroom. He's at the door asking if I'm okay. I'm saying, I'm fine, just an upset stomach. Next thing I hear is, well, I don't know, Mom. What? And I'm thinking, you're on the phone with your mom standing outside the bathroom door? What? And she's on speaker. They're both talking to me through the door. I've broken out into a sweat, trying to hold my shit in until he walks away. And the next thing you know, I scream, it's over. I want to break up. And then you hear this massive explosion in the toilet. It gets quiet, and I hear his mom say, oh my God, son, were those gunshots? I was like, oh my God. But could you imagine, like, don't get me wrong, like, when my mama was alive, my mama was my best friend. And we talked every day. There wasn't a day that went by that we didn't talk. But I didn't, hey, Mama, I'm about to take a shit, okay? All right, is it okay? I'm going to go do number two. Or I didn't come and say, all right, Mama, me and my husband's about to have sex. You know, is it a good time for us to do it? Like, yes, I did talk to my mom about sex. We talked to each other about sex because that was the type of relationship that we had. But I didn't call her for every fucking single thing.
I
Like,
know.
you know, when you in a relationship, you know, there's some things that need to be private. Like, oh, I laughed so hard at that when I saw that. I was like, oh my God, that is going to be one that I'm putting down.
Need them gunshots. Cat, cat, cat,
Yes.
cat, cat.
Right. Um, let's see. Oh, let's see, where's that? Oh, I do have one more though, and it's a short
Okay.
one.
Okay.
All right, it says my sister's friend went to meet her boyfriend's parents, and she was embarrassed to ask to go to the bathroom. So she asked for somewhere she could go wash her hands. Well, after she said that, they sent her to what's called a mud room. So she climbed on the sink to pee, broke the sink off the wall, and got a fucking concussion.
Oh my God.
Why can't you just say, excuse me, where's the restroom? They ain't got to know if you got to pee or shit. They ain't got to know if it's number one or number two.
I know it. That's too much information. Don't ask me that. That's
But
my business.
damn, she had to have been a little hefty though. If she climbed up on that sink and broke it from the wall, because I'm a hefty girl, and you ain't gonna see my big ass sitting up there climbing on, hugging a damn sink just to pee in it and then falling back and getting a concussion.
That would be
Uh.
horrible.
No, 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 no. This was fun, y'all. I hope y'all enjoyed this podcast of fucked up breakups. And if you have had a fucked up breakup, send us an email to Bridget and Holly at gmail.com, and we'll read it on the podcast or leave it on the comment section on this video.
There you go. That's right. And y'all, we've got some new series we want to start. It's a confession session. So if y'all have any confessions, send us those. If you have any questions, we're doing Ask Bridget and Holly. Or if you have, what was the other one we're doing?
Um, the advice, the questions, and the settle this,
Settle the argument. That's right.
settle the
You
argument,
or
settle
your
the argument.
significant or other, your daughter, your friend, y'all are having an argument, no matter how stupid it is. Like, for instance, I'll give you an example. I've always called it the grocery store, ALDI. What do you call it?
Call what?
The grocery store, ALDI.
Are you talking about Aldi's?
Aldi's. Yeah, that's what I've always said.
Uh,
But I don't remember who it was that we knew they used to call it Audi.
I just
And
call it Aldi.
yeah, and so we literally had to would call the store, like the corporate number, because they have a recording. And they said, "Thank you for calling Aldi." He's like, "Ha ha ha! I told you." So listen, if it's just something as stupid as that y'all wanting us to settle the argument over,
Oh my
email
god.
us and we will settle the argument.
And Bridget, on that note, for me to love sweet potatoes, I think I might be allergic to this baby food. My lips are really, really hot, and they're like my bottom lip swollen a little bit.
I think I'm allergic to it too.
And I'm not allergic to real sweet potatoes, and that's supposed to be just pure sweet potatoes. But yeah, on that note, y'all, we love y'all, and y'all have a good night. We hope you enjoyed this podcast.
Bye.
Uh-oh. And it's still recording.
Oh shit.